Your fourth essay was a little bit different, wasn't it? You went through a series of revisions, so there'd be a slightly different way of looking at your checklist. So this is page 80, and this is checklist for paper number 4, the evaluation. So number 1, you have a judgment. You're making a judgment about something as far as its aesthetics, which is the artistic, creative part of it, or its functional part. And maybe it's a combination of the two, that's fine. But you're making a judgment about something. You're putting on a scale, 1 to 10. 10, it's super, it's unbelievable. 1, not so good. So you're putting something on a scale there. Number 2, you have explicit reasons. You don't have general reasons. You have very carefully thought out reasons. So if you say, for example, this movie had excellent dialogue, you've got to have dialogue. Give us some examples of that. So make sure it's a good explicit reasons. Those would be your standards. Your standards are how you judge something, your criteria. So you want to have several of those. What makes for a good movie? What makes for a good cell phone? What makes for a good magazine? What makes for a great television show? What makes for a great rock concert? Those are your standards. And you've got to have several of those, and those will be your body paragraphs. Number 3, you have specific support. Give us the sights and the sounds and the smells and the touch, everything. If you're doing a video game and you say the final confrontation was excellent, we got to see it. We got to feel it. We got to be right there with you as you're doing that. Number 4. Number 4 is big. Let me just take a second on this. You show you have the knowledge. This is your paper. You're the expert in the area. As I've said to my classes in the past, if you walk me down to the art gallery here on campus at Palomar and tell me, here's some interesting paintings, what do you think? I don't know. I don't really have the standards because I don't have the background. I don't have the knowledge. But give me a book or a magazine article, I'd probably be a lot more comfortable evaluating that. So you've got to demonstrate you're the expert. So compare the cell phone to other cell phones. Compare the video game to the whole series of video games. Compare the book you've read to other books by that author. So you want to demonstrate you're the person we want to go to for the information. Number 5, you're fair, which means it's not a perfect book. It's not a perfect video game. It's not a perfect cell phone. So if you're basically really happy with whatever it is you're evaluating, save some part of your paper for the negative, because that makes you look open-minded and fair. Right? Does that make sense? And then number 6, you've considered the reader. How do you consider the reader? Maybe you needed some background. Maybe we don't know what this video game is like. We don't know what this television show is like. So you give us a brief background. Maybe you can compare it with other things that the reader might know. So you say, this movie is a lot like the famous movie such and such. So you're connecting your topic with something that the general audience might know more about. Maybe you're going to have counter arguments. There may be some controversy. You may say, well, other people have said such and such, and you take them to task. You show why they're wrong. That's very effective. It makes you look like a very critical thinker. So you might have that. Maybe visual aids. If you say, this photograph is outstanding, it shows an example of a creative camera work person. Okay, then let's see the photo. Number 7. 7 is huge, isn't it? Because you've spent a lot of time working on this paper. So first you revise based on the whole essay. So make sure you look at the checklist. We talked about that. Then you got down to the specific paragraphs, topic sentences, kind of support, things like that. Then you got down to actually the individual words and sentences that you chose there. And that's where wordiness comes in. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to pick a paragraph, any place in your paper, pick any paragraph, and just put a note right there, wordiness. You can write it by hand if you're turning it in, or you can just type it in before the paragraph starts if you turn it into Canvas. And that means you want me to read that paragraph to check it for wordiness. So make sure you've stripped out these useless words. We've done some exercises on that in class. And then look what never goes away. Number 8, grammar. Number 9, style. Again, you're going to see more style as we move on through the semester. Number 10 deals with a challenging topic. Yeah, I'm sure it will be, so I'm not too worried about that. So again, if you have any questions about this, I hope this is helpful. This is what I'm looking for as I'm looking at your paper. So we'll do another checklist soon, and wish you well on this paper.